Hey mga ka-travel buddies! Today, dadalhin ko kayo sa isa sa mga pinaka-makasaysayan at iconic na lugar sa buong China, ang Forbidden City sa Beijing. Pero sa likod ng napakagandang arkitektura at ingranding mga palasyo, mayroong malungkot at madilim na kasaysayan. Ang Forbidden City na itinayo noong 1406 hanggang 1420 ay naging tahanan ng mga emperador ng Ming at Qing Dynasty sa loob ng halos 500 taon. Pero sa loob ng mga pader na ito, naganap ang hindi mabilang na mga kwento ng intriga, betrayal at kapangyarihan. Maraming emperador ang namuhay dito na may matinding lungkot at pagkakakulong, habang ang ilan ay nabiktima ng mga political plots at assassination attempts. Ang mga concubines at eunuchs na nanirahan dito ay madalas ding nalulubog sa mga power struggles, naiipit sa walang katapusang pakikibaka para sa kontrol at impluensya. Ang mga emperador, kahit sila ang pinakapangyarihan sa buong China, madalas ay nakakaramdam ng isolation at takot sa sarili nilang palasyo. Sa kabila ng yaman at kapangyarihan, maraming kwento ng kalungkutan, pag-iisa ang nakapaloob sa mga dingding ng Forbidden City. Kaya tara, samahan niyo ako habang inaalam natin ang madilim na bahagi ng kasaysayan ng Forbidden City.
Alright guys, good morning. It's day 2 here in China. We're specifically here in Beijing. We're actually waiting for our tour guide. It's a mini tour that we book via Viator. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. We're going to Forbidden City. It's 4 hours of tour, and basically we paid around, I think, 8,000, 8,000 in pesos for 2 packs already. So obviously you don't want to miss Forbidden City if you're visiting Beijing, because obviously it's a very good and main tourist spot here in Beijing. So they're gonna pick us up here in front of our hotel.
So this is the moat. The moat.
The moat, yeah. The moat, yeah.
The moat.
So guys, we're here now in front of, actually I'm not sure, I think this is just one of the gate here in the Forbidden City. We're just waiting for our tour guide Johnny, and he's really good and sharing a lot of information about Forbidden City. But as you can see, there's a lot of people, local people. I think there are foreigners as well, just like us. And we're gonna explore this great city and learn its rich history and culture. So guys, by the way, some cool facts about Forbidden City. According to our tour guide, this was actually built in the 14th century. And the reason why it was actually built, it's because there was an emperor back then, because the capital of China used to be based in Nanjing. However, that emperor back then didn't feel really okay and safe in Nanjing, because some sees him not the real king. So that's why he decided to move the capital to Beijing and build another, palace here. So construction took like 16 years for them to build Forbidden City. Another fact about Forbidden City, the best time to go here, according to our tour guide, is from September onwards. And then the summertime, which is obviously very hot, is July or June or July. So right now it's August 26. We are about to enter September, and good thing the weather here today is nice. It's not hot, you know, and it's not humid. So hopefully it turns for the entire day like this. You won't feel the perspiration. Another fact about Forbidden City, guys, according to our tour guide, is that if you notice, there's a lot of people, local people, Chinese, going to this tourist spot. It's because, according to him, if it's holiday season, school break, most of the families from the provinces and different states, or you know, places here in China, they bring their kids here in the Forbidden City, you know, for educational purposes, and of course to really appreciate their culture. There you see a lot of kids in their school uniforms. I'm not sure, I don't think it's a holiday, but I think it's really a good way of appreciating and learning their rich history as Chinese. Now also, if you're planning to visit Forbidden City, guys, unfortunately you have to book online. You can't walk in, and tickets can get sold out in minutes, so you have to book it online like a week in advance, you know. But in our case, we were really hopeless yesterday because we failed to book it online, and good thing we were able to book in Viator. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's our first time booking there, and so far it's so good. And you just need to pay, obviously, using your credit card. And also, guys, for foreigners visiting Forbidden City, once you were able to book your ticket online, you still have to bring your passport, because you need to present it in the ticket center, just like what our tour guide did. So we're just waiting for our tour guide. We went to the ticket center, okay, and brought our passport, and that's for recording information purposes, you know. But if you're not very comfortable, you can join your tour guide, but obviously you have to stand in the line. Okay, so we were asked to wait here, but one of our joining us, our joiner for this tour, actually joined our tour guide in the ticket center.
And also we will consider like middle, median, meridian.
Meridian Gate.
Ooh, it's meridian.
Okay, yes.
So Meridian Gate, middle gate, you can consider, yes. Because also another meaning, afternoon outside will be only for like officials, like who administrators, they go from side security that. So we call the line of the dragon.
Okay.
Get the fortune richness from the
let me touch it.
It's funny, you can see this one people touch. Nobody touches this one.
the 9 from up to down.
Okay.
There are always 9. 9 times 9, 81 from the whole door. Because the 9 is the odd number in the high one.
Okay.
1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 9 means positive. So for men, it means also strength and also for long life, longevity. So they put many. We call the emperor. We many times we call them 9. So 9 is only the number for men in a really high, odd number, the biggest one. This is a door lock in the back. When you hold the door, this will hold it the lock. The Meridian Gate, we reach to the Gate of Supreme Harmony. So this name of the gate is called the Supreme Harmony. So the Ming Dynasty, not the Qing, only Ming. During the Ming Dynasty, the king is working under the roof. Because under there, the hall, he have a table. in each morning, and he will come to here and get like reports, briefing from the other staff.
I see.
For him.
So like his work office.
Yeah, like work office here, but only for Ming. So there were two dynasties in the Forbidden City, Ming and Qing. Ming and Qing. There were totally 24 emperors from Ming and Qing. So in Ming about 14, Qing about 10. So 24 together during the 600 years doing their duty. So but each of the province they have dialects. Even we can calculate each of the town, city. So the people speak a very different accent. But Mandarin is according from north part of China, so people speak similar. But the people from Shanghai, I don't understand them. They speak Shanghai words, Shanghai Hua,
and different accents.
Southern,
North.
we only have official language Filipino, but we have different dialects.
But apparently, if we speak English, we get to understand.
We have
but the people from the US, they have dialect too. Accent.
Yes.
You definitely, you could take someone from where I'm from, and someone from the very, very, very south, like Alabama, and someone from Chicago, maybe like New York.
New York, yes.
You put those three people in a room.
The Boston people are also
Boston,
yes.
Very, very different.
Meadow. So this is called golden water. It's from the west. So for feng shui. Man-made river for like balanced feng shui. Harmony. Feng shui. Consider it is two parts. So start from here, the gate of heaven purity. In the whole area of front, we call the front court. We call the political area for administration, for working. So start from here. There outside there are also like a department building back in the Ming and Qing dynasty. Not for living, but for working. They have also storage like royal kitchen as well. So in the administration work part, and we start from here. This is the inner court. So inner court, there are palace, and they're for living, for like sleeping. So three buildings. So we will enter from the gate of supreme harmony. So this is the hall of supreme harmony.
It's big.
Noong 1421, si Emperor Yongle, ang unang emperador na tumira sa Forbidden City, ay kilalang malupit at kinakatakutan. Sa likod ng kanyang kapangyarihan at karangyaan, namuhay siya sa isang mundo ng kalayawan at pagnanasa kasama ang kanyang napakalaking harem, libu-libong babae, mga concubine at batang alipin.
From the shadow of the middle of the meal, put in a time clock. They know the springtime, autumn, and even winter already start. Another army, with the farmer army. From the revolution, so he's kind of shame that he couldn't stay, so he hung himself over there in the Ming dynasty. What do you call it? Castrated. Castrated.
Here.
Castrated. We have a story called the last unit. And what do you call it here?
Eyebrow, yeah.
Our covers their eyes because they start telling people because in the living court actually it's extremely dangerous. Because the kids and the concubines they try to set up each other.
Nang dumating ang panahon na kailangan magpakitang gilas ni Emperor Yongle sa mga dayuhang dignitaryo mula sa iba't ibang bansa, kinailangan niyang itago ang kanyang iskandalosong lihim. Ayaw niyang malaman ng mga bisita ang tungkol sa kanyang harem na puno ng mga kababaihang pinilit sumama sa palasyo. Sa isang madilim at malagim na gabi noong 1421, nagbigay siya ng isang nakakatakot na utos: patayin ang lahat ng tao na konektado sa kanyang harem. Halos 3,000 tao, mga batang babae, concubine, eunuch at mga tagapaglingkod ang pinaslang ng kanyang mga sundalo. Ang sahig ng Forbidden City na dati kuminang sa ilalim ng araw ay naligo sa dugo. Ang mga batang babae kasing edad ng 12 o 13 ay walang awa na pinatay. Ang iba ay pinugutan ng ulo habang iba ay pinira-piraso. Maging ang mga eunuch at mga lingkod na nangangalaga sa kanila ay hindi nakaligtas. Ginawa ito ni Emperor Yongle upang burahin ang bakas ng kanyang lihim at manatiling malinis sa mata ng mga dayuhang bisita. Pero ang madugong gabing iyon ay hindi kailanman nalimot. Isa itong patunay na ang karangyaan at kapangyarihan ay madalas may kasamang matinding kalupitan.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your Majesty, whatever, you know.
I see.
Try to show up.
Give
Because
some
the
respect.
queen.
That's really the
Red mark.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, older 400 years.
Okay.
With the red mark. Some of them are green. The green mark is 200 years old. 400 years old.
At dito nagtatapos ang ating paglalakbay sa loob ng makasaysayang Forbidden City. Sa bawat hakbang, ramdam natin ang bigat ng kasaysayan, mga lihim ng emperador, ang kalungkutan ng mga concubine at ang karangyaan ng dinastiyang naghari sa China. Sa gitna ng karangyaan at ganda, hindi natin makikakila na puno rin ito ng mga trahedya at sakripisyo. Ang bawat pader ay saksi sa mga kwentong hindi palaging masaya pero bahagi na ng kasaysayan ng bansang ito. Salamat sa pagsama sa aking paglalakbay na ito. Sana'y nadala ko kayo sa ibang panahon at naramdaman nyo rin ang mga kwentong bumabalot sa lugar na ito. Hanggang sa susunod nating adventure mga ka-travel buddies, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe para sa mas marami pang travel stories and discoveries. Kita-kits ulit sa susunod nating destination.